Well, hello there, folks, and a very warm welcome back to What's for Tea and our meals of the week for this week. So, a huge welcome to you. And I know that my Sunday video is my most popular of the week, so I've usually got more people here than normal. So if you're new, take a wee second to subscribe if you do like these kinds of videos, and give the video a like on the way out. And as usual, I'll start all the way back on Monday through till today, which is Sunday. And if I've done a video recipe and anything that you see here, I will always leave the video link down below, and that way you can go straight to the video and make it for yourself. So let me go and show you what we had this week. Like I said, starting back on Monday. So on Monday, it was a really busy day, so I had these in the freezer, so I decided just to use these. I was going to do wee individual steak pies, but I ran out of time, so I pulled these out instead. And if you're near to an Iceland food warehouse and you've got the Greggs range where you are, these are from the Greggs range, and these are the cheese and onion pasties, and they are lovely. And we've got some creamy mashed potato on the side. It's the first time I've tried these actually, and I'd definitely get them again. Some garden peas, and that's like diced potato, cheese sauce and onion wrapped in that pastry, and they are seriously tasty. And I made a cheese sauce for over the top just to take the dryness off the pastry and just bring everything together and make it lovely and unctuous. And these were, like I said, delicious, and I'll definitely get these ones again. I picked up a few different things from this range that I haven't tried before, or we haven't tried before. And then moving on to Tuesday, you'll have seen this one already if you watched the recipe that I posted on Thursday, and this is the traditional Scottish stewed sausage, and I haven't had this for such a long time, and it was really nice as well. Very easy to make, and I will leave the video recipe down below just in case you want to go and watch this and make it for yourself. And we've just got some plain boiled potatoes on the side, some steamed cabbage with a wee bit of butter and white pepper, and that's the stewed sausage with the onion and carrots and gravy. Yeah, really tasty. Like I said, very easy this one, and it stretches such a long way, and it's quite cheap to make. So yeah, highly recommend this, and like I said, I will leave it down below just in case you want to go and watch it and make it for yourself. And then moving on to Wednesday, another one we haven't had for quite a wee while, and another one that's really easy to make. And if you do like your more tomato, chilli, onion-based pasta dishes, you know, I would highly recommend giving this one a go if you haven't already. And you can add chicken to this as well if you want to sort of beef it up a wee bit or add a wee bit of extra protein to it. But this is one of my favourites, and I always add extra cayenne to mine because I love this extra spicy. So it's penne pasta, tomato, garlic, onion, there's chilli in here, yeah, and it's just lovely, with some cracked black pepper and some Parmesan cheese on the top. And I could eat this every day of the week, but yeah, not Mr. What's for Tea's favourite. He prefers a more sort of cheese based pasta, but yeah, that's one of my favourites. And then moving on to Thursday, another pasta, but this time it's spaghetti bolognese. So in the freezer, I had some fresh egg spaghetti that I'd completely forgotten about. So I thought, what am I going to do with this? Because I need to clear down the freezer a wee bit. You know, these things that you completely forget that you've got. So I just turned it into spaghetti bolognese, and sometimes I just keep the bolognese sauce and the pasta separate, but most of the time I combine a wee bit of the sauce with the pasta in the pan just to make it a wee bit more interesting and less dry, and then pop a wee bit more of the sauce on the top, just like I have here, with some black pepper and some grated cheese on the top this time instead of the Parmesan that we had the day before, with a couple of slices of garlic bread, again, that I had in the freezer that I completely forgot about. Does anybody else do that? They find things in the freezer that they're completely forgotten about, and our freezer isn't that big, but things seem to get stuck right at the back. And then moving on to Friday, it was another busy day. So out came the cauliflower cheese, another one that's super easy to make and doesn't take long to put together at all. So instead of just having the cauliflower cheese, which we were planning on doing, I popped one of these sausage rolls on the side just to make it a wee bit more interesting, because on its own it looks very uninteresting, although it's really tasty on its own as well. And again, as well as the cheese and onion bakes from the start of the week. I also get these sausage rolls from the Greg's range at the Food Warehouse at Iceland. And again, it was the first time I think I've tried these, and they're so similar to the takeaway sausage rolls, just really tasty and good for livening up a boring cauliflower cheese. And then moving on to yesterday, we had fish and chips, and you'll have seen these in my wee Tesco food shop unbagging. These were the battered cod fish fillets, and these were lovely. They cooked up so nice. Yeah, they're just so tasty. A bit naughty on the calories, but they are really delicious. So we've got some skin on fries there just on the side, and generally I would make a wee salad or lettuce or something with this, but I've just gone with mushy peas for a wee change. That's the fish fillet there, with a wee bit of parsley and a couple of lemon wedges just instead of vinegar, and that's the mushy peas on the side in a wee pot. Sometimes I put these on the plate, but it does make things go a wee bit soggy, so sometimes I keep them separate just to try and prevent that from happening. But yeah, lovely and simple, and one of our favourites, fish and chips, if you didn't know already. And then moving on to today, we had cottage pie, but I done mine a wee bit different this time. I made this in my loaf tin, or I used a couple of loaf tins, and it held together beautifully. I watched some other people's, meals of the week videos for inspiration, and that's what they said they use was a loaf tin. And it's the first time I've tried making cottage pie or shepherd's pie in a loaf tin, but it really, it did work out really well, and it kept it in a really nice shape as well. So I think going forward, as long as I don't have too many to feed, a loaf tin is actually, fine for 2 people. So yeah, loaf tin for the win. And we had some baked beans on the side. I was going to do broccoli, but I thought baked beans, would be really nice with this, and it was. So really tasty again, and again, very simple and easy to make. So thank you so much for watching if you're still here, and a huge thank you as usual to the supporters of the channel over on my Patreon page, and to the channel members here on YouTube as well, for you all for watching, leaving your lovely comments, for those that share the videos as well, those that have bought me a coffee using the Buy Me a Coffee link, and those that have left me a super thanks donation as well. It's all very much appreciated, and I'm very thankful for everything that you do, and very thankful for our wee community as well, although it's not so wee anymore. We're up to 188,000 subscribers now, which absolutely blows my mind. I remember my first subscriber, my first 10, 100,000. I remember most of you, so thank you all so much, and especially for those that have been here from the start. I really do appreciate you being here. So I will catch up with you during the week, so mind to take care of yourselves, and I'll hopefully see you back here on What's for Tea. Bye now.